What's up, everybody? Good morning. It is Thursday, October 19th, 7 a.m. You're watching the 10K to $2 million funding challenge with Venator Trading. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., breaking it down. So welcome in. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to find yourself here in the this beautiful world that we live in. Hope you're having a great day. My head is pounding today. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's allergies, change of season, but man, I woke up with just a killer headache. So not feeling 100% physically, but always a good day when you can open up the charts and watch some price action, see some candles print, and try and take one more step forward in this trading journey together. So glad you guys are in. The stream sponsored by best in the business right now, Bespoke Funding Program. No one doing it better right now, in my opinion, than Bespoke. The way they support their traders, the content they put out, the conditions in which they have created their challenges, the amount of allocation that you can get from them, the customer support over and above. Just a fantastic firm to be working with. So if you're looking to pick up another challenge here and try your hand with prop firm trading, I would highly recommend picking up a challenge with Bespoke Funding Program. And you can do that by using the discount code Venator that you see right over here in the corner of the screen. Venator will get you 15% off, which is a great discount, and also an 85% profit split, which is a little higher than they would offer typically. So I hope you take advantage of that discount code. You can support the stream that way. We do everything here for free on YouTube every single day. We're taking a 10K account all the way to max funding. This is round number 2. Round number 1, we got all the way up to a full 10K account. We had a phase 2 10K going and a phase 1 100K going. And over the summer, we could not pull out a drawdown. We were in drawdown for 3 months, which is it's a long time to be in drawdown. But yesterday we started a brand new phase 1 10K challenge a week and a half ago. Passed it yesterday. That account also was 4% in drawdown, and then we took it all the way up past break even into the 8% profit target finally on this euro dollar trade here yesterday, closing out our large 8% profit target goal. We have locked and loaded now our phase 2 challenge credentials. They are ready to go. I actually took so Bespoke has a 3-day trading limit on their 2-step classic challenge, which is what we're doing here. You have to trade for 3 active trading days. So I took a micro 0.01 lot trade yesterday to start that clock on the calendar day yesterday. So today is actually day 2. So if we were to find a trade today and tomorrow, we technically could finish out before the weekend. Technically, that's theoretically. But if we don't take another trade or find a setup on the stream this morning, I'll probably take another micro lot trade just to keep that active trading day metric in line, so to speak. So we'll keep track of that. Because what I didn't want to do is have to wait. If you can find winning trades, then you don't want to have to sit around and wait and take micro lot trades for 2 or 3 extra days. So I just get them out of the way here at the beginning. That way when I find the setups that I like and we can win a trade. So the way that I'll be doing this phase 2, nothing changes. I haven't changed anything since we started the stream. We've been on every day, Monday through Friday, since the middle of May. We're over 100 streams now, and I have done nothing different from day one that I do now. Everything is the same. The strategy is the same. The execution's the same. Nothing has changed, and I won't change anything for this phase 2, which means I risk 2% per trade. I go for a 1 to 2, just over a 1 to 2, just so I can cover commissions and get a true 1 to 2. So one winner would put us at 4%. If we won the first trade, we would be at 4%. Our goal is 5%, which means on the very next trade, I would only have to have a 1 to 0.05 risk reward ratio. I don't even have to get a full 1 to 1. I would just need a 1% gain. And since you're risking 2%, you only need half an R. So I need a full 1 winner, and then I need a half of an R to close out phase 2. So hopefully we can find a couple good setups here. Whether we close out the week with 1 and then maybe finish it out next week, either way. I will say I haven't done any of these challenges without experiencing drawdown ever. I've never just gone straight from 0 to profit target on any of these. So that'd be a nice streak that we could break if we could get into that, is just actually find a winner and not have to go into drawdown. But the reality is any account you're trading is probably going to experience drawdown at some point. That is just the nature of being a trader. I mean, there's really not much else to talk about when it comes to trading. If you're expecting to not ever be in drawdown, if you're expecting your account never to be below its original balance, that's completely unrealistic. That's just completely unrealistic. You're going to have seasons where you are losing, or you have a losing streak, or your account is going to go into drawdown, and that's fine. It's nothing to get worried about. It's nothing to get upset about. It's nothing to change. That is not an event that should warrant a massive change in the way that you trade. You should just keep trading your edge. If you have the data, if you have the stats that show consistently over a long sample of trades what your win rate is, what your losing streaks are, what your winning streaks are, what your risk reward ratio is, all of those things, then you just keep working that edge. And that means there's going to be seasons like we just came out of for 3 months where for 2 months, 2.5 months, we made like 21%. And then for 3 months, we were in drawdown and lost the accounts after breaching drawdown. Now, if you look at the monthly, it was actually a down month in July, a positive month in August by just a couple percent, but we couldn't get back to break even. But for the month of August, it was a net positive, but our account was still in drawdown. And then September, and then right at the beginning of October, we lost those original accounts. When you get funded, you're not going to keep your account. I don't know if you guys saw the interview yesterday that Bespoke put out with Alfie. Alfie's a great trader. He talks about how he would get funded accounts, get payouts, and then lose them. You're not going to keep a funded account forever. It's probably statistically impossible to keep a funded account forever. Just the way that the drawdown limits work, the way that the trading is season and cyclical, and you go through these periods of drawdown, and you don't know when they're going to come. You don't know when your trading plan is necessarily going to hit a rough patch or a losing streak. So even if you get a funded account, you're probably not going to be able to hang on to that for the rest of your trading career. Highly unlikely. So you've got to be prepared to use the profits. So the profits that we have made from our original 10K account are we're still well above break even on that return on investment from that original $100 purchase from that 10K account. Those funds purchased the refund purchased another 10K account, and then the profit split purchased a 100K account, and then we still had money left over that we were able to purchase this new 100K account. So the return on investment is still magnificently high. This is the way that prop firms will benefit you if you use them correctly. So yesterday we were able to catch this euro-dollar trade. Beautiful little setup, run of liquidity, displacement through. We caught that breaker, the fair value gap setup, played out. It did take. Let's see. We got sniped in here, and then so that's 1, 2, 3. It took about 4 hours for that to play out, which is actually a little bit longer than I typically hold trades. I usually find out a little bit quicker how those are going to play out, but we've just been trying to take trades that are in line with our higher time frame bias and identify those draws on liquidity, and then try to get in line with those moves. We were anticipating some bearish price action on euro. Today we've got some news. We've got unemployment claims that come out at 8:30, and then we also have Fed Powell has a speech at noon today. It would not surprise me at all if any dollar correlated pairs just kind of chop around here this morning until Powell speaks after 12 o'clock. I'm not anticipating trading any dollar pairs here until, well, probably not today at all. So mostly just because of the news. You've got 8:30 news, and then right after that, about 2 hours later, you've got Powell speaking. So not the greatest of trading conditions from a red folder news perspective today for the dollar pairs. You can see we have on the DXY, we've left in place this daily high. And I believe that's a weekly high, yeah. So you've cleaned this up a little bit. Obvious big uptrend. We've had a pullback. We've grabbed sell side liquidity, and then we've come up and put in a lower high off of this level here. So right here is your buy side liquidity, and then of course relative equal lows down here from Tuesday and Wednesday would be your sell side, and then the previous week's low still further down yet. This could be a higher low swing level here after this massive run up. We could be putting in. We'll see how this weekly candle we have today and tomorrow. Not sure what the dollar is going to want to do. It definitely is kind of on the daily starting to just consolidate a little bit after this massive run up. Still kind of bullish for me until something changes and we see that inflation slowing down, that the GDP is slowing down, that the economy is turning and things. Well, I think out in the real world, everyone already says the economy is slowing down and things are worse than they should be. The numbers the government's putting out and telling everybody don't necessarily reflect that same sentiment. Things are not great anywhere, really. Rents are up, mortgages are up. I mean, the mortgage applications are at the lowest. Housing prices are sky high. Groceries are still sky high. Everything is extremely expensive. The employment rate is probably as low as it is because people are having to pick up multiple jobs. And so while they're saying employment rate's low, that's just based on the number of jobs that are getting filled. People are having to pick up extra work to maintain the same level of living standards that they had before the pandemic in 2019. So it's a crazy world we live in right now. A lot of stuff's going on, but for me, bullish dollar, as long as the military is ramping up, as long as the military conflicts are heating up, that's bullish for the dollar. Plus you have interest rates, probably another hike incoming at some point as inflation is just not dropping. The pain is starting to be felt, but until other things change, I would still remain slightly favoring a bullish dollar. Doesn't mean you won't get some consolidation. Doesn't mean you won't have a down day on DXY. But long term, not ready to call a top here on DXY. I still think we're going to come and fill in this monthly volume imbalance or fair value gap, buy side imbalance or sell side imbalance. Gosh, I cannot talk today. Sell side imbalance here. I think we'll probably reach that. Could potentially reach up into this swing level just above that as well. On the daily time frame, you're let me mark out this little volume imbalance here. Just so we can see where we're at inside of here, because this is where this volume, this is an actual volume imbalance, where in price gapped, closed down below. Prices come back up to it, reached into it, and fallen away. So this is an area, once we get if we got a candle closure above this, then I definitely think these highs are up in place, are in play, and will draw up to. Oh, let's see here. So for the rest of for today, we're just kind of consolidating. For the week, we're right back. We're approaching the open price. We've put in a low. We're pulling back up. Question is do we want to go higher? Is this just going to close inside all of last week's price action? We're just trading inside. We haven't taken out last week's high. We haven't taken out last week's low. We're just consolidating. My guess is, if anything, last week's high is in play. But, if Powell says the right things, this thing could if he starts coming out dovish and saying, they're considering a pause or a cut, then this thing is going to drop like a lead balloon, man. It's just gonna tank. But I'm just gonna watch and wait. I'm not really interested in trading EU, GU, or dollar pairs today because of unemployment and then Fed Powell. So if I see a setup, I say this every day. If I see a setup that I like, I'll take it. If I don't, I won't. And I just from experience and knowing how these types of days play out with news, probably not going to find a setup on GU or EU. GU did drop down overnight. It tanked pretty hard, and then ever since about 5:30 has been just climbing back up. On the hourly, you can see we've taken out sell side liquidity. You do have some nice buy side liquidity, relative equal highs up here on the hourly time frame, sitting around 2145-ish area. Could be a nice short-term play there. If it did displace through at least some of these levels, you might be able to have a play there. If you wanted to take a short counter trend trade up into these relative equal highs, rebalance some of this price action right here. It is still bearish, so that would be a counter trend trade. I'm not going to take it. I don't like taking counter trend trades unless I have a very clear, specific reason to do so. This is not enough, and we have news coming out at 8:30. So for me, no touchy. It's a no-go zone until after unemployment claims hit, and then, maybe something, but I doubt it. Euro dollar's just been consolidating. Didn't really take out any corresponding lows that you saw GU take out. Really just been kind of pumping higher. I would think that EU finds some resistance here off of this daily fair value gap that we were watching and have been trading off of this whole week. As it's come back up to it, it's failed to close in or above it multiple times now. So I would anticipate, again, it finding some type of reaction. I'm going to go ahead and take off the trade that we had yesterday and just clean up our charts a little bit. So you have this daily fair value gap that it's just tapped right back up into. You also have this 4 hour on this time frame. You also have this 4 hour fair value gap. Could want to reach back up into this order block, this bearish order block right here, to send price lower. But don't be surprised if this thing just wants to consolidate around. It may drop. It may want to come down. Again, news at 8:30, Powell at 12. Just not high probability trading conditions for me on dollar pairs right now. With those kind of news events coming, go back, pull up FX Replay or TradingView. Just go back and find those days when Powell speaks at 10 or 12 or 2. And the mornings are just, especially if there's red folder news in the morning preceding that, they're just you don't even need to open the charts. Just let the day play out. Go do something else or watch another non-dollar correlated pair. Try and find setup there, but don't force it. Every day is not a good day to trade. And typically, in my old days, I would have been like, ooh, I passed phase 1. I just got my phase 2 credentials. I'm jumping in on day 1 and I'm going to knock this thing out. And I would come in and I would try to force a trade and just get into a position because I got my phase 2 credentials and I was so excited to pass phase 1. I was like, oh, you're on top of the world. You're feeling super confident. You just made 8% in a week and a half. And actually more than that because we had to pull out a 4% drawdown. So we made 12% off of the original balance, really, in a week and a half. That's insane. And so you're on top of the world. You're on top of the world as trading emotions go. And you get that new account. You see that it's phase 2. You know that it's only 5% that you have to get. And you're like, I can knock out 5%. That's nothing. I just did 12. And then you screw yourself and you find yourself, more people, I think if I saw something, and this may just be a completely made up statistic, but I believe I remember reading one of the platform owners, and I can't remember which one it was, basically put out a stat that says it is a much lower pass rate on phase 2 than it is on phase 1. So if phase 1 pass rate is 10% or less, the phase 2 pass rate's even lower than that. People just relax. And they think that because they finally got through phase 1, which is supposed to be the harder target to reach, mentally they get into this space where they're just not able to, they relax too much, they get undisciplined, whatever it is. They see that smaller profit target and they just think, oh, that's easy. 5%, that's easy. And then they end up screwing themselves. They don't stick to their plans. And all of that work gets flushed down the drain that they spent trying to, that they spent all that time working to get to on the phase 1 challenge. So GJ had a drop and it's pulling back just like pound. If you get some displacement higher, maybe you get a push up here from these lows. It's definitely, to me, just in a consolidation mode. You just have this area here. This is your consolidation area. All of this, you've stabbed into sell side. You've stabbed above into buy side. You're just chopping inside this sideways range right here. Not a clear direction to me on where GJ wants to go. It does look a little more bearish to me on the weekly time frame overall. You've had this run of buy side. You've had a failure to displace up afterwards. And so now I would look to, you did have, these are manipulation wicks. The Bank of Japan keeps trying to step in and strengthen its currency, and they will continue to do so. And so you got to be careful with yen pairs because you can get these massive, these wicks on the weekly candles. They were created in like 5 minutes each, 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, they were massive whipsaws out of nowhere at times, completely unexpected. So GJ gotta be nimble there. I just don't have a super clear direction on GJ. It's just moving sideways to me. Pound Aussie is pulling back off of these weekly fair value gaps. You've put in a lower high currently right here off of this weekly fair value gap. And it's pulling back. So right now, though, on the weekly time frame, if you look at the daily, you're kind of in this small little channel. It's just kind of channeling up. And I know you don't, that's not an ICT concept, but you can understand when price displaces and then it slowly trickles up, it's reaching up into some internal liquidity. It may want to tap back up into this daily fair value gap, weekly fair value gap again before it wants to head down for these relative equal lows. I think my opinion is these daily relative equal lows will be the sell side draw on liquidity for GA. Whether that's, I don't know that that's this week. It may take a couple weeks to get down there, but it's kind of what I would anticipate there is maybe a more of a sell side bias. So I would want to see a run of buy side liquidity potentially on this 4-hour time frame above these relative equal highs and then displace lower. On the 1-hour time frame, you have run buy side liquidity here, but you have failed to you started to displace, but you've come back to this order block and now price is being held up right there. You grabbed sell side liquidity over here and you couldn't displace above this high. So nothing super clean and clear here yet for me on GA. If you were, if you were wanting to target buy side, I would want to see some displacement through. Now that we've grabbed sell side, I would want to see displacement through. Really what I see here is this quick displacement up, and now we've come back and rebalanced this, and we haven't displaced through this liquidity grab. So this buy side liquidity grab right here, this quick run up has not been displaced through. That would be down here. We came back to it, and we have failed to displace through there. So it makes me wonder if price does not want to come up a little bit higher still. Now that you've grabbed sell side here on this displacement leg, you've reached down through some old lows, rebalanced some internal liquidity. If you get displacement above this, then you would look to target some internal liquidity or external liquidity up in here a little bit. Dollar yen is still doing all of this crazy sideways movement. Nothing for me there. Interesting, oil has pulled back off of its recent highs here. Failure to take out that swing level there. It has taken out buy side and displaced back through. So does oil want to drop? I would be less inclined to sell oil only because of everything that's going on in the Middle East right now. But it is a breaker setup here on oil. You have run buy side. This is the 1-hour time frame. You've run buy side liquidity. You've clearly tapped into all of the liquidity above these highs. And after you did, you immediately, well, not immediately, but on this chart, after you've tapped into that, you could not pull higher, and instead you displaced lower. As it rebalances this area right here, potentially you have sells into some of these imbalances down here. But that to me is counter trend based on current economic factors and world fundamental factors. I'm not a big fundamental news guy, but when you're trading commodities like this that are so drastically affected by the fundamentals, it's not just pure price action. Price action is what you use to help you identify entries on these types of commodities. But the fundamentals you have to take into account, and it's still, I would be, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would be one selling against the backdrop of the world events going on in the Middle East oil situation. So take it for what it's worth. Euro Aussie. Euro had a big pump yesterday. We've consolidated. here above this old swing high. If today we can close out above this high, then it's going to create a bullish order block. And you could look for higher prices still here on EA. Weekly time frame, it's been in an uptrend. We put in a swing low on the weekly time frame a few weeks ago, and we're just cranking up. We are tapping into this weekly order block right here on Euro Aussie. If so, I mean, technically you're probably going to find some difficulty reaching through this weekly order block right here. It's about halfway up into it right now for the high of the week. All of this area here. Nice, clean, relative equal highs up there, though. Those are really... when you see nice, clean, flat lines across wicks like that, price does not like to leave that pretty straight line. It likes to make it jagged. So, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, we closed up above this daily candle here. What was this? Last Thursday? Last Thursday, this candle closed up above these old wick highs. That immediately should be a clue that any pullback is going to be just a repricing so that it can continue up. And that's exactly what you see. See a pullback this week, rebalance this daily fair value gap. Yesterday, it actually wicked below that fair value gap, a strong rejection off, and then all day today just been running very aggressively to the buy side. Perhaps London didn't really do anything. Perhaps if you get a pullback down into this range, you find a breaker here to identify a potential entry to go long again. But this is super choppy. Anyway, spent a long time, way longer than normal, talking through all the analysis, only because I want to be very clear with you that if you looked at every chart that I pointed out, there's not a clear, I don't have a clear bias. You might. I don't have a clear bias. And so on days like today, when I come in and I sit down the charts, I would be content ending the stream right here and just telling you today's not a good day to trade. That's the life of a profitable trader, understanding when and where you should be looking to find entries. And on days like today, it's just not, there's just not good clean setups showing you anywhere. All of the markets are either consolidating or waiting for news to drop. And I'm just not ready. I'm not in a hurry to pass this phase 2. I want to pass it. But just because I got my account credentials yesterday doesn't mean today is the day that I need to go in and do that. You have to still be aware of everything else that's going on around you. And it's just, yeah, I'm going to sit and watch. I'm going to be a spectator today. And I'm perfectly fine with that. All right, let me jump over to the chat. I haven't said hi to anyone this morning, and we're 30 minutes in. What a shame. All right, I'm going to back up, so I may repeat some things if you guys have already been talking about stuff, but I'll get to it. Cisco first in. What's up, man? Welcome in. Of course, Lee, obviously, good day to you. George Tucker, good afternoon. Mr. Alfie, good morning. Good afternoon to you, sir. Red, what's up, what's up, what's up? Beeswax. Going on, man. Shadow Trades, good evening. Alpha Bridge, congrats on phase 1. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Camo, good evening. Welcome in. John, sounds seasonal. Yeah, the headache is probably seasonal, my friend. I always fight allergies anyway, and the seasonal change is probably what's doing it. But yesterday it was cool. Today it's supposed to be back up in the mid or to upper 80s, and so it's like summer is poking its head in one last time trying to not die a miserable death, but it's going to, and it makes everyone suffer while it does. What's up, Adrian? Welcome in, man. Mr. Alfie, not that Alfie. That was not the interview. Bespoke Alfie. I guess Mr. Alfie is Bespoke Alfie as well, but different Alfie. Brad, do you know why Bespoke even have a minimum trading days rule? Don't know. I don't know. It's just part of their. I've never asked them the rationale behind having a minimum trading days, other than just to weed out gamblers, I guess, that just go max leverage and get lucky. Make them. To me, it's like if you're not going to have a consistency rule, then you don't need minimum trading days. Minimum trading days should be in place if you have a consistency rule as well, because then you would say you need to have minimum trading days. Like I think Top Step has this. John, you can correct me. I haven't really looked into the rules, but I think Top Step has a consistency rule. You have to have X number of profitable days. So I don't know why the prop firms now for Forex pairs, Forex prop firms are still requiring that when they have no consistency rules. Holdover from this is how FTMO has done it forever. I don't know. I'm not a profitable trader. Mr. Alfie, I believe, haven't you been holding an account for like 8 months? That in and of itself is worth being interviewed about. I got some actual paid project work to fit around listening to Brad babble. I do babble a lot, no doubt. I try to get my stream monologue in right at like the first 20 minutes, and then after that, I really just kind of lean into the chat, and hopefully the chat picks me up, and we finish out the stream with some good interaction there. Cisco, phase 2 lower pass rate, also possibly a product of gamblers being lucky in phase 1. Also true. You get a couple of guys that maybe hit a one big swing trade, and they can't replicate that consistently. I'm telling you, the traders who just chip away and execute their systems are the ones that typically can find their way through these challenges. I don't know. I've had a lot of, I don't know if it's luck. I mean, I guess luck favors the prepared, but the challenges to me typically go pretty well. Now, especially with this specific breaker block strategy and the way that I trade it with my 2% risk, my 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, with my 55. Oh, I forgot to change my stats here. I need to change these stats. 50% win rate. Actually, it's a little bit more because we had a 4. This should be 4 wins, 3 losses. 55% win rate, which is if you've been with me since May, 55% win rate is about where we sit on this strategy, and so I can knock out the challenges pretty quickly within a couple weeks, typically. For each phase. I need to redo this. Let me find it. Hold on. I need to reset these stats up here to our new phase 2 stats. So that's 0 and that's 0. There we go. GA and EA on weekly being an uptrend, it makes me wonder if they're going to continue higher rather than reaching those equal lows. It might. Yeah, it might. GA is really, to me, more consolidating than EA. EA definitely looks more bullish than GA does. excuse me. I think at this point on EA, I would want to see some clear manipulation into the sell side and then displacement up. That's kind of what I would like to see if I was going to be bullish here. There's nothing tradable here right now at all, anywhere. Pound Aussie, if I was bullish, I think I would want to see displacement up through here. You're getting that run on sell side, but I would want to see displacement through some of these up close candles up here. So still nothing pretty. Nothing really for me at all to want to consider there. Interestingly enough, ICT's NWOG, new week opening gap, price pulled all the way, drew all the way back up into it, and has fallen away from it. It's running sell side liquidity now. Oh, excuse me, on the dollar. 4-hour time frame, it's just pulling back. Now that it ran and displaced above these highs, it's pulling back. You do have this little 4-hour fair value gap right down in here that it could probably find some support for. Uncle Powell, yeah, Powell's gonna talk, and every time Powell talks, markets can get wonky. Cisco says, yeah, it seems daft to me. Like, gamblers can still gamble and then just have to wait 2 extra days. Why bother? I don't know. You need a consistency rule in place, like at least a lot size consistency rule. Like, all of your trades should be within X percentage of lot size of each other. Or, like Top Says does, you need to have X number of profitable days. Technically, you could still do that with micro lots. So you could pass your trade, you could pass your challenge, and then still just take a micro lot trade. And as long as that micro lot trade is profitable, I mean, there's different ways you could do consistency rules. It's just going to be quite a because no one in the industry does that except on the future side. It would be quite a detrimental. It would be very unappealing for people to want to participate in that when all these other firms have no consistency rules, no minimum trading days, etc. More of a hassle to just deal. It's really just something that you just have to go, oh well, whatever. It's dumb, but I'll put in a micro lot trade and be done with it. Mr. Alfie, started trading my first account on the 29th of October last year. Still have it. Is that a challenge or is that a personal account? Because that's you're about to pass a 1 year holding one account. That's pretty freaking amazing. Philip says the ones who get consistent payouts from prop firms usually take on average 4 to 10 trades a month. Yep. That is correct. John Jones, who? Never heard of her. Did I mention a woman? I don't know who you're talking about, John. Did I say something? I don't remember. ICT, I can't trade. Oh, I see. When I was talking about NWOG, I got you. It's a challenge with Bespoke. My gosh, they should interview you. Just where are you at? Are you at break even? Are you in drawdown? Are you in profits? Like where are you at with that challenge? What's your dashboard? Send me a picture of your dashboard. I want to see your dashboard. They should interview you just because you've started a challenge a year ago and you've held it for an entire year. I'm going to tell Max to hit you up, and we'll get Mads to do an interview with you. Especially if you can pass that challenge, they will definitely do an interview with you. You'll be bespoke famous. That's incredible, man. That's absolutely incredible. Quite an accomplishment. You know why I'm in a bad mood right now and I'm not doing great? I just figured it out. I have not lit up my Leo Ben candle, teak wood and oak, and I didn't get any sponsorship emails, so I'm not sure what you guys were doing yesterday, but it wasn't reaching out to Leo Ben Candles telling them to hook me up with a YouTube sponsorship. Hell, even if they just gave me free teak wood and oak candles for their sponsorship, I would sign that deal. It would be very boring if they didn't. I'm at 6.5% drawdown, but bought another last month, which is up 0.75%. It would not be boring. All you have to do, Mr. Alfie, is just keep dropping dad jokes. If there's a question you can't answer, you just read a dad joke and then you just go on. And then they'll just look at you like, what? Mr. Alfie, the king of the dad jokes, which I haven't seen any good dad jokes the last couple days. He actually probably can trade. I give him that. That being said, ICT equals imposter, charlatan, trickster. But he's also a fearmonger. I do not disagree with your last statement. He is a internet marketer. That's what ICT is. Just like Raja Banks, just like Patrick Wieland, just like any of these other internet guys who have their private courses, their mentorships, whatever it is. These guys have learned how to monetize trading education, while at the same time, some of them can trade and make profits from trading. They're really about building an audience and monetizing it. And ICT, you've got to give the guy credit. The guy has made millions of dollars from building an audience and monetizing it. First with his private mentorship, and now he doesn't even charge for education anymore because he doesn't have to, because now he can just put videos out on YouTube and collect massive revenue off of his 500,000 subscribers. They don't even have to pay for anything. They just have to click play. And the more polarizing he is, the larger his audience is going to grow. The more crazy and out there things that he says, the more extreme he becomes, the more popular he will become, because that's what YouTube and all of these social media profiles, that's how their algorithms work typically. The craziest, loudest voices build the quickest and fastest audiences, and they learn how to monetize that. The dude's a great marketer and understands exactly where the money's at, and he knows how to go and put a siphon into that money pool and start sucking it out quickly. So kudos to him. Dude's a brilliant marketer. Raja Banks, brilliant marketer. Patrick Wheatland, brilliant marketer. I mean, there's others. But that's, to me, where their strength lies. They can probably trade, but why? I mean, if you can make all this money trading, which they probably have made some money trading, but you can make 10x that from social media monetization, why the hell would you not be doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you not try to make money monetizing your social media presence if it's 10x what you could make trading. We would all do that. We would be dumb not to. People have been monetizing it. Yeah, fear makes a lot of money for sure. You can scare people and make a lot of profit off of it. Here we go. My ex tried to embarrass me in front of her friends by telling them how rubbish I was in bed. Should have seen her face when they agreed. I've heard that joke, but I've heard it say should have seen her face when they disagreed. Good one. Oh, he's almost he's I haven't looked. Last time I looked, he was like 500 or 600K. He may be close to 1 million subs on YouTube right now, which is insane to me. A day trader who has 1 million subscribers on YouTube, while my little channel has 1,100 subs right now, which I'm ecstatic for, by the way. I never thought 5 months into this live streaming journey that we would be at over 1,000 subs in 5 months. That's incredible to me. I don't want to diminish that, but I mean, when you're talking about 1,000 subs on Venator's stream versus 1 million subs on ICT's channel, of course he's been doing this a lot longer than I have too. So I'm also not much one to chase clout. I'm not one to use fear or bravado. I'm just here, little old me, Brad do nothing, Brad handouts, Brad babble, Brad take no trades. That's my MO. It's probably not going to get 1 million subscribers. Maybe if I can get to max funding, and maybe if I could get a 3 or 4% payout off of that max funding, maybe we would grow a little bit. We'll see. 885. People enjoy watching drama. Being extreme gets views. I mean, 100% correct. 100% correct. It's not entertaining to watch to watch just a. I mean, that's why people don't just watch. There's not 1 million people who watch YouTube lectures from Harvard professors. Like a lot of these colleges, their professors actually will stream their classes online. You can get like higher education like from some of the most brilliant minds on the planet, and nobody watches it. This is boring as hell. Or there's just no interest in the content. But then you can get guys who literally just crack jokes or tell video games or comment on other people's videos, and they'll have 1 million people because they're entertaining. They can tell jokes, or they're extreme, or they say wild and crazy stuff that people feel like they need to interact with. Oh, it's totally the Howard Stern effect, 100%. Shock jocks make a lot of money, man. I need a marketing course. Don't be surprised if ICT puts out a marketing course of how to grow a YouTube channel, or how to grow a mentorship, or how to grow a private Discord, or whatever it is. I bet he sells one soon. There's another way to make money. I'm in Trading did a great expose on ICT a few weeks ago. Watch it. I think I might have seen some of that. Brad, take no trades. Haven't you done 3 this week? I think the setups have been there the last couple weeks. Every day we've gone to the charts, the setups have been there, and I take the trades when I see them. Like I said, there was a couple weeks where we took 0 trades for like 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden here recently, we've just gotten a rash of great setups, and we've passed our challenge. So yeah, I'm all for taking trades. You know me, I will take the trades if I see them. But you also know I won't if it's not there, I'm not going to take it. NPR. Venator Trading is the NPR of YouTube streaming. Yeah, I mean, while I don't want that to be the case, I can't disagree with you. That's not something that I'm not like NPR is what I put on. If I just can't fall asleep, I'll just put NPR on. I will be out cold in a couple minutes. I don't want that to be what this is, but you're not wrong. I'm sure this channel will grow in time as you get more funding. People are just not patient enough to watch the grind and wait through the early bits. The reality is not entertaining. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly why I'm doing this channel. Cisco nailed it on the head. People are not patient enough to understand you should not be down on the 1 minute or 2 minute, and you should not be taking 3 or 4 trades a day. This is what consistent, profitable trading looks like. Taking way fewer trades than you ever thought you needed to take, waiting for the premium A+ setups to form, knowing exactly what boxes need to be checked for you to even consider taking a trade. And it's just not flashy. It's not entertaining. We entertain ourselves because we sit here and talk to each other. But actually sitting here watching candles print is not very fun. I mean, it's fun for me in the fact that I am fascinated by it. Absolutely fascinated by it. I love and am perfectly content just sitting here analyzing, marking up charts, watching price deliver. Yeah, I am fascinated by it. But it's boring. Like it's not an exciting, and it really shouldn't be an exciting process. It's fairly mechanical. It takes very little time to do good analysis, way less than you probably think. 20 minutes is a long time. If you're just looking at 3 or 4 pairs, 20 minutes of analysis every single day. Number one, you just did analysis the day before and the day before and the day before. So it just builds up on top of itself, and you know exactly what you're waiting for and looking for. It just doesn't take long. And then you're just sitting around doing nothing. Oh, I know you're busting my chops. Absolutely. The dad jokes is what keeps this chat stream popping for 2 hours. That and non-related sports talk. And occasionally we get an interesting character who comes in begging for free accounts and rambles incoherently in a language they don't understand, which is also entertaining. Stone, would you risk 2.5% now to get funded in one trade, or are we being patient? No, I'll be patient. I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to change anything. I do not mess with my strategy. My strategy is my edge, and I am not tinkering with it anymore. Like, it is set. It is what it is. The sample size is large enough for me to understand exactly where my premium risk profile needs to be for this to work effectively. So I don't change it based on what challenge I'm in or where I'm at in a challenge or what profit target I need to reach. The only time it changes is when I'm approaching drawdown. If I'm within 1% of drawdown or ish, I'll change my risk profile. Or I'll just take profits early. If I need to close out a challenge, it'll just close out for me when I hit that specific profit target. I won't go for the full 1 to 2, obviously, because the profit target's been reached. So that's the only, those are the only changes I make. Nothing else changes besides that. Back to phase 2. Yeah, thanks, Chase. Me too, man. Glad to be back. Back in the win columns. Ace Real says, Cisco always patient, Stone. Brad always stands by, never changing risk reward, not for specific trades or challenge phase or funded accounts. Only changed it when he was close to. That's it. Exactly it. Thanks, Cisco. Serious question about lower time frame. There are professional long-time traders who look at the opening range based on the 1-minute candle. Thoughts? Again, I think the key comment in that question is that there are, well, you didn't say it. Maybe my mind read it. There are professional traders who can trade the lower time frames. There are. I'm guessing, and this is just my pure gut guess based on conversations I've had, articles I've read, statistics I've seen, that is a very small percentage of professional traders. That yes, there are people who can look at the first minute of a session, and for whatever reason they have figured out how to consistently execute on those lower time frames. They are few and far between. Nobody on this stream is ready to do that. I'm not ready to do that. If you're watching the stream, you're not ready to do that. You're just not consistently going to be able to produce at a high execution on these lower time frames. We're not built like they are. Not saying it can't be done, not saying there aren't people that can do it. I'm just telling you that's not the goal. That's the thing, is that we hold up. I think that's what makes me angry when I talk about all these guys on these lower time frames, is that we hold them up to be some type of God type traders because they can trade on lower time frames. As though that's the pinnacle of trading, that you can trade on a 30-second time frame, you can trade on a 15-second time frame, you can trade on a 5-second time frame, whatever time frame it is. We feel like if you can trade on lower time frames, you're some kind of this special godlike trader. The lower the time frame, the better the trader. I think that's a bunch of crap. I think that's a bunch of crap. I don't understand why why that's the assumption, that if you can scalp, you're a better trader than if you're a swing trader or a position trader. Warren Buffett, one of the richest freaking people on the planet, not a scalper. I mean, go find me hedge fund traders who are managing billions of dollars in hedge funds, and show me the ones who were scalping on the 1-minute time frame. Show them to me. The best traders in the world who manage the most amount of money and who are absolutely swimming in dollar bills, sleeping on them, using them as napkins, they're not scalpers. So I don't know why we need, as the trading community, continue to highlight people who are trading on lower time frames as though there's something, they have some kind of just divine touch about them as being these incredible traders. I think that's where we get, it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like looking to celebrity great actors and trying to go to them and saying, hey, who should I vote for? Just because they're good at one thing doesn't mean that they're the best at everything. I guess maybe that's a horrible analogy. It probably was. I'm just saying, I don't think we should be lifting up lower time frame scalpers onto some type of trading pedestal that says they're like, that's the goal. If you can't do that, you're not good. Or that's what you should be aiming for. In fact, that's your goal, is to get down to the 1 minute time frame and make money every day. In and out, 10 minutes, your day's done. That's why 90% of traders never reach profitability. That kind of shit right there. Sorry. Got on a little soapbox for a minute. Warren Buffett is Bastion. He changed his name. He hasn't been back in for a couple days, so you never know. Talking about non-related sports, I saw a video about hobby horse events where people go, oh yeah, dude. Yeah, like they put the little, it's a horse head on like a stick and they just stick it between their legs. I've seen those videos. It's a mental issue those people have. Chase, I trade the 1 minute, but I do two trades max a day. Camo, higher frame time traders. I hate scalping. Have you seen the traders who don't use a stop loss, though? They need help. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen them. Chase, I think it depends how they actually do it. BFP interview lately had a guy who scalps but doesn't use a stop loss except as an insurance stop in case price really moves against him. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, again, don't hear me say, if you're a trader sitting in here today and all you do is trade on the 1 minute time frame, look, it's very difficult to consistently pull out profits from the market when you're looking at the 1 minute time frame. Now, if your system is basically what I'm doing, where I'm just looking for higher time frame draws and liquidity on the weekly, the daily, the monthly, even the 4 hour, and then I'm dropping down into the 15 minutes to look for an entry. Okay, I get it. I understand you can do that. I'm not built that way, and I guess it's probably wrong for me to say no one can do that. I'm just telling you that should not be your goal. If your goal is to be able to successfully trade the 1 minute time frame, you're barking up the wrong tree. And yes, trading without a stop loss, whether an actual physical stop loss or whether it's even just a mental stop loss, that's just rookie. John, I really like Tom Cruise movies, but good Lord, he's a wacko, most likely a cult member. Oh, for sure. 100%. My goal is to make money over the year, ideally every month, but I know that's not realistic. Yeah, you're probably not going to make money every month. There's no system out there that is 100% profitable every day or every week or every month or every quarter. All right, we're into the 8 o'clock hour here. We do have the unemployment claim numbers coming out in about 30 minutes. Euro dollar reaching back up into that daily fair value gap, not quite into that 4 hour area. Pound dollar taking out some buy side, consolidating, not really getting clear displacement after running sell side here. Didn't really get a good clean, clear displacement off of this. If it had, you might consider going long here into these highs if that's a counter trend trade you wanted to take. What's GJ doing? Pretty much nothing. Pound Aussie heading lower here, or starting to. Oil climbing back up into this fair value gap, into this hourly breaker right here. And Euro Aussie, nothing. Oh, much like I said from the beginning an hour ago, not anticipating decent setups here today. He hasn't been back in because it's not Friday. Hey, look, man, we get a lot of people that only come in on Fridays for the giveaway. I'm not faulting them for that. He did seem to have a better grasp of the English language. So I don't think they're the same person. Oh, high frequency trading. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They enter at 30 to 10 second time frame. Yeah, the high frequency trading has been banned by most of these prop firms. It's not something that can be replicatable. When you're using, if any of these firms are actually transferring trades, which I'm guessing they're not, but it's just not replicatable into a live market with all the technology they're using to transfer trading information. Oh, is trading your main job? No, I do not live solely off of my trading income. Um, I work at a church. I've been there for 18 years. And even if I was making enough, which I'm close, but we're not there yet, I would still stay where I'm at. I love doing what I'm doing. I love being in ministry. I love the job that I have. I'm not there to make money. I mean, yes, obviously I am there. It's paid the bills for 18 years or 27 years that my wife and I have been married, but I don't do the job I do for monetary gain. It has more to do with just my faith and the calling that I believe I have on how I should live my life and where I should invest my time. John Jones Cisco, maybe Bastion started using Babbel. I think that would confuse him even more, quite honestly. Oh man, what do we do for the rest of the stream? Cisco says, just curious, but feel free to not answer. When you make more from trading in the future, would you offer to do the same job without pay? Maybe. Maybe. Probably not. Only because, well, it just depends. It really just depends. And look, when I say I feel like I'm called to ministry, it doesn't necessarily have to be with this specific church or what I'm doing right now. There are many ways to do ministry. And if I was in a financial position where I didn't need any specific income, there are other ways to do ministry outside of just working at the church that I'm at right now. So it could be working with nonprofits. It could be starting my own nonprofit. It could be all kinds of things wherein I would be able to still be involved in ministry, even though it's not a specific 9 to 5 job. And really, my job isn't a true 9 to 5. I do have a lot of time in the office that I have to put in, but it's not like hard. It's work that I love doing. I'm a musician, so a lot of my time is put in planning services, prepping songs, getting charts and music out to all of our band members. It's a big church, so we've got a huge amount of volunteers to manage, schedules to manage, rehearsals to manage. And then I oversee all of the production side of all of the teams that it takes to pull that off on a weekly basis. So there's a lot of meetings I just have to sit in. I mean, there's a lot of non-ministry things that have to happen to actually do ministry the way we do it. So there's a lot of administrative side of stuff that just takes up most of my time during the days. My work schedule's Monday through Thursday. Well, I guess Sunday technically, because Sundays, I mean, it's church day, so I'm there every Sunday. I don't feel like Sunday's a work day because I would be in church anyway. But it is a work day technically. But like office days are Monday through Thursdays. And then I'm off Fridays, all day Saturdays. But I'm in a fortunate situation. It's not like I don't have a time clock to punch. As long as I'm at the meetings I'm supposed to be at when I'm supposed to be there, and as long as my job's getting done, as long as everything's getting taken care of, my actual office hour time is kind of flexible. Like I don't have to be there at a specific time in the morning. I don't have to stay until a specific time in the afternoon. It's, get your job done, do what you need to do, interact with the people you need to interact with. And then if you've got stuff you need to go do it. Because really ministry is a 24/7 kind of a gig. It's not like ministry stops when you're not at the office. Like my job doesn't stop just because I'm not sitting at a desk, or I'm not talking with someone about something. Like it's a 24/7 job. Like I'm always on my phone. I'm getting text messages all kinds of times. I'm getting emails at all kinds of times. I'm having conversations. I'm meeting volunteers for lunches or just whatever. It's a nonstop job ministry. When you commit to ministry, it's just like, well, this is my life. And yes, there's going to be times when I need to go sit in an office and do work, but you're kind of always on. You're just always there. It's always happening. What you make from trading, what do you usually do with your profits, or do you have any suggestions? Well, so right now, I'm building up a personal account, which I have not opened yet. I'm just setting up funds through that. But we're also, two of my kids got married last year, and we had to pay out quite a bit of money for 2 weddings. So I think we're going to have a 3rd wedding in the next 12 to 18 months. So quite honestly, with 4 kids, getting them through college, which we did not pay every penny of their college, but we have 4 kids in college. We had 2 weddings last year. Kids are freaking expensive, man. So we're refilling our savings accounts and emergency funds, basically restocking our coffers, so to speak, and getting back into a more solid financial position overall, really. And I think I said on a stream a couple weeks ago, people were talking about, if you were going to go full-time trading, what would be a watermark for me, for our family? I would want to have 2 years of living expenses in the bank before I would want to commit to just trading full time. I would want 2 years. Only because I've seen how volatile and how much your income can fluctuate from trading. If I was solely relying only on my trading for income, I would want to know that I have 2 years of my current living expenses in the bank, that I know that I could go for 24 months. I'm going to be able to weather multiple seasons of either no profits or drawdown during that time. So that's mine. That's why I'm not in any hurry to try to figure out. Like, I'm nowhere near having 2 years of living expenses plus my normal retirement stuff, emergency funds, savings, all that kind of stuff is already in place. We've got to restock our savings from wedding. We've got weddings coming up. It's just all life just keeps happening. And so I don't know that I'll ever get to a place where it's completely full time. And maybe, I mean, if I can get to 2 million max funding, that could happen sooner rather than later, but we're not there yet. I am, for anyone who thinks that I'm sitting here making $20,000 or $30,000 a month from trading, that's not the case. My wife and I have an agreement where I'm not going to reveal our financial situation. We're not gonna. She does not. I've made that agreement with her. We're not gonna put that out there. But I can tell you, we're not making 20 to 30K a month from trading. I mean, that can happen. We can get there, but we're not there yet. All right, I got news coming out. The unemployment numbers coming out in about 10 minutes. We'll probably sit through that and watch that. But besides that, I mean, it looks like the dollar is just going to show some weakness today. Those unemployment numbers could get your pop. The dollar's reached down into that 4-hour fair value gap that we were looking at this morning. It's just ranging. Here's your range. It's right back in the middle of this internal range here. So kind of hard to get a clean vibe for me on that. GJ starting to move up here. EA still consolidating. Oil is still reaching back up into this imbalance here, into this breaker. Might be able to get a buy on GJ. If you're bullish, you've had this run of sell side liquidity, you're starting to get displacement away. You have this breaker here, fair value gap down inside. You also have this larger push up. That's really where I would be looking at displacement above these candles. We'll see. Nothing. I just we'll watch and wait. Trader Omar, no setup so far today. No, nothing. And with news coming out at 8:30, and then Fed Powell speaking at 12. The dollar pairs for me are probably just off limits today, in general. Probably just a good day to go read a book, watch a movie, play some video games, do some back testing. Probably not a great day. I feel like we're just going to range. You might get a pullback here with the news, and then it just chops around in here. But that's not high probability trading conditions for me. These relative equal highs up here and these fair value gaps are the drawn liquidity for me for GU, but this is a counter trend trade, and I'm not a fan of them for my system. I don't like going against my higher time frame bias. So you've had this run on liquidity, you're getting displacement through. You did, after this little break above and closure above right here, There was a small little fair value gap. It didn't come back down into it. It did reach back down into this breaker, and that breaker supported price up. But yeah, no setups right now. No setups today for me. Probably not going to take a trade. That's just my guess, my gut feeling. We'll see how this news plays out with unemployment claims coming out in like 5 minutes, sorry. Previously, unemployment claims were at 209. Today, they're forecasted to be 210, so not much change. We'll see what they come out at. If this is a massive number, you're probably going to see dollar weakness. If it really misses, if it comes in a lot lower, then you'll probably see dollar strength. So if it comes in as expected, I expect chop heading into Chairman Powell's speech at noon today. Euro dollar reaching up into its 4-hour fair value gap here. If this thing tanks off of this news and we get displacement through some of these lower levels, I mean, there's clear sell side liquidity down here that you might be able to get into a sell, but I just not feeling it today. Dollar definitely looks extremely weak. So any pullbacks, yeah, I don't know, man. It's okay to not take trades, guys. It's okay to not have setups. I know we've had a rash of really good setups recently where we've been calling trades, and we've had a 55% win rate on those. But that spigot can shut off pretty quickly, and we could go now 3 or 4 days without any setups. So patience is the key of the game, man. Patience, 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 patience. And then when you are patient, you have to be aggressive when you spot your setup. Be aggressive with your entry. Patience turns into profits, man. What's up, Owen? Yep. Patience. Patient traders get paid. How long did it take you to pass first phase? This first phase, it took a week and a half. We had 7 trading days. We had, they were not all every day. So it was like a week and a half. Let me go see. I can tell you. Look at the account history here. The first trade was October 4th. And we passed on October 18th. So 14 days, so 2 weeks. Exactly. Basically 2 weeks exactly from the time we took our first trade. All right, there's the unemployment claim numbers. They have come out. 198 is what they came out. So they came out lower than expected, which means I would anticipate dollar strength here. But I could be wrong. Big miss on the Philly Fed manufacturing. Yeah, you're getting a pump instead. You're showing some dollar weakness off of those numbers. It's crazy they missed. Yeah, I would think that would be bullish dollar, as that shows that the job market is still very strong, and there's not many people filing for unemployment claims, or not as many people as expected filed for unemployment claims, which means the market is still, the economy, the GDP is still cranking along. But who knows? The market is obviously sending the dollar lower on that news, so. Look at the weekly candle here. We are still on the weekly inside Friday's last week's range on euro dollar. We just haven't gotten any strong pushes directionally. You've had up days, down days, up days. So just ranging. Winding up, creating liquidity to both sides for manipulation. So you're getting accumulation. Don't know how long that's going to last. And then you'll get manipulation. And then you'll get distribution one way or the other. So higher time frame overall, we're still anticipating a tap into this monthly fair value gap here. Came right to it. We've left it in place, grabbed some buy side, and now we're just consolidating back in this range. It wouldn't surprise me if we come down here. Who knows when it's going to be. Oops, go this way. 4-hour fair value gap. Closing very bullish on this 4-hour candle here. Pulled right back up into this order block. All right, y'all. Got anything else in the chat? Otherwise, we're probably going to shut it down. What's going on in Discord? Anybody put anything over there? There's some questions about a swap-free account. If you choose a swap-free account, yes, you can. You don't get charged the swap rate, but I don't think you have access to the tight spreads that you do on the regular account. So it's a give and take. You're not going to pay the swap fees on those overnight or over weekend trades that you're holding, but you also are not going to get those super tight spreads that you get on the regular accounts. So you gotta, if you're not going to hold positions overnight or over the weekend, just do the regular account. You're going to get better spread conditions, better trading conditions, better executions. This guy messages me on Discord private message. Now, I figured he knew who I was. Maybe he's a bot. I don't know. But it basically says, hey. I said, hey. He says, my name is Philip. How are you doing? I said, this was this morning. I was like, doing good. Just prepping for the live stream coming up in 30 minutes. And he says, oh, live streaming from who? Why the hell are you messaging me? What do you not like? Why would you just randomly message someone? On Discord? Live streaming from who? That'll take a chop out of your pride, won't it? Live streaming from who? Probably a scammer. Probably somebody who's going to try to convince me to use them to pass my challenge. Those challenge passing scammers. It's just funny to me. It's like, that's literally my whole thing. I just live stream. If you don't know that about me and you're private messaging me, you're a scammer. I'm going to say John. I'm going to tell him John Jones to stream. I'm just going to play with him and see what I can, see how frustrated I could get him. Oh, I just closed GA. Damn it. Now I got to open a new chart. Pull it back up. Sometimes I hit the X button accidentally. Ask them about their crypto investment. Minotaur Trades, never heard of her. I think technically it would be Vinatrix. If you're looking at the Latin, this is Venator's Latin. I think if you look at the Latin, Venator is the masculine, and I think Vinatrix. And to Americanize it, we should just call them Vinatrixies. I don't think we have any Vinatrixies. Shafa's not in today. Can you just control shift something to open, reopen closed tab? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Let me try. Let me close it out. Okay. Control shift T to reopen a closed tab. Let's try this. So close pound Aussie. Sure, save and close. And then, well, mine would be command because it's Mac. Oh, it just opens another. Oh, John, look at you. Hey, learn. I'm so glad I was on the stream today. That's gonna save me so much time in the future when my fat fingers scroll over the X accidentally. Thank you, John. That's so good to see. I'm glad that that's happening. I'd be shocked if GU leaves these highs in place. Keyboard shortcuts, man. They're kind of cool. I got my rocking my H-Town and my Astros hat. We pulled out the win in Arlington against the Rangers last night in the American League Championship Series. We took it to them. We play so good on the road all year long. We have just dominated on the road. And we carried that over again last night. And we needed it. We were down 2-0. Best of 7 series. We were down 2-0. So now we'll go back at it again tonight. Try to even up the series, which I feel really good about our chances. The pitching for the Rangers is suspect. Their offense is absolutely spectacular. They have a great offense, but we have the pitching edge, which in a 7-game series, I think pitching edge is more important than offense at this stage of the playoffs. So if we can even it up tonight, it becomes a let's see, best of 3. It becomes a 3-game series at that point. So, and I like our chances if we can even it up tonight. So we'll see. Rooting for the Astros. I don't even know. I guess it's a 7 o'clock game. I don't know. There's 2. The NLCS will have a game today as well. So I'm not sure what the schedule is. Today. So Phillies Diamondbacks play at 4 and Astros Rangers play at 7. Diamondbacks have to win today. They're already down 2-0. They were in the same hole we were in. All right. I think I'm done, guys. I'm just going to go on about the rest of my day. I might check the charts after Powell speaks just to see what kind of reaction we're getting. I'm not going to take a trade anytime after 10:30, and I don't see a setup forming in the next hour and a half that I would be interested in wanting to participate in. So it's good enough for me. Good enough for me. I'm going to take a micro lot trade. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a micro lot trade here. Get in my 0.01 lot. And we're just going to click a buy here real quick. We'll see if we can get it into profits. Maybe we won't. I don't know. All right, it's closed out. We took a 30-cent loss on that micro lot trade. All right, day 2 then is in the books of the phase 2 account. It's still basically at break even. It's at $9.99 and 60 cents. So we're sitting at 10K. Oh, there it goes. It would have gone into profit right there on there, but it's fine. All right, we'll be back again tomorrow, Friday, closing out the week. Maybe we'll find a setup. Maybe today, after we get all this news and Powell speaks, it grabs some liquidity. We get some moves in London, but we'll see how it goes. So thanks for tuning in today. As always, you guys are what the stream is all about, in my opinion. So I'm glad you were here, and I appreciate you being here. Hang out in the Discord. I'm sure we'll be throwing some good memes and mom jokes and dad jokes, dad jokes over there. We should do a your mom joke session. Your mama. Yo mama so fat. No, I'm just kidding. All right, that's it. We're done. You guys stay safe. Happy hunting. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. Adios.